the ordeal. Just gonna hop right into things here. Not really a whole lot of new stuff on the agenda today. I've just sort of circled back and wanted to play some more Creep. It got requested last week, and I had fun with it. I made a whole bunch of terrible misplays that it looked awful, but I do think it's a strong deck, and I think mainboarding the EMPs really makes a big difference because it helps versus Titan and whatnot, which can be hard on us. So I wanted to get a few more games in it with its recent change here. Oops. Should probably do Discord on my phone if I need to. Alright, let's see here. So we're up against Kara, which generally means walls and or Vespers, and lots of transforms. We'll need this lure to kill Malicious Wisp if it shows up, and we do want our Klaxions, but this is a matchup with a lot of transforms, and it's definitely a little early for two of them, but I'll hold on to one. Alright, Ooze is a solid open, and I don't think we need this Punish. And we have a Lure as well, so we probably don't. Plus there's Munches in the deck, so we can probably live without that for now. Alright, Carrion Collector showing up to help us get that early Klax. And since we're probably not going to have 4 mana or want to play a Juggernaut this turn anyways, Carrion and Crawler are a great turn too. Alright, so it looks like it's probably going to be proper Vespers here. Fingers crossed that Ooze will actually finish that off with its tile. No luck there. But I can still just go punch it to death. Not ideal, but, whatever works. So we'll deny his globe with the Carrion, just so he can't have it. Throw out a Crawler. And, yep, now we'll be able to transition very nicely into Klax and or Juggernaut. He's just trying to get his infiltrate engine running. He didn't attack the Carrion, that's a little curious. He may just be a new player, it is season reset. So we'll go ahead and... we'll do it this way. So we'll clear... Doesn't make a huge difference, but I was thinking I might wanted to have put the creep tile back there, but it really isn't much of a difference. We'll get out a nice early Juggernaut. I still don't think we really need this punish. You know, I could have claxed this turn, but then I would have been able to clear both his units, so Juggernaut was better. And we have enough creep to make that Juggernaut worthwhile. Especially with this Crawler still hanging around. That punish just keeps coming back to us. Yeah, I wonder if we're going to end up running into Avalanche here. That would suck. Oh, yeah, still don't need this punish. Let's go ahead and walk away out of infiltrate range and tie him down both on that creep and that keeps him out of infiltrate range. Do I just want to go face with this? Yeah, probably. So, fingers crossed he's not running Avalanche. And if he is, well, I played right into it. But, frankly, Avalanche will do less damage than staying in Snow Chaser infiltrate range. So, to use a Chromatic, ooh, a Displacer. Oh man, am I going to get combo wombo to death? I may have to use a lure just to clear that. Yeah, the fact that he backlined it, it's pretty nerve-wracking. It looks like I am going to have to clear that. Now that we know it's going combo wombo, probably have to start looking for those punishes that, of course, aren't going to want to show up now. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, I could kill it with my face, but I don't want to. 1, 2, 3. I don't really want to trade my Crawler in, but looks like that's what I have to do here. I could have gotten an extra creep out of this Scar, but hey, no, I still have my Scar, so this is fine. Do I want to be drawing or healing? We're getting pretty close to Obliterate. Let's see, how much tile we got? 11. Yeah, now let's just get him down into Obliterate lethal range. Couple Desolators will take care of us. Oh good, Punish came back to us. Again. Looks like it's going to be a nice clean Obliterate win. Another Displacer. He is trying to combo wombo me, and I am not having any of it. Now we have more than enough creep. I'm not going to go face. There's not really any reason for me to get aggressive when Obliterate should finish it here. I mean, and even if he does drop a Herald, you know, I can still just Obliterate and punch, and that'll be enough. So I've got 14 damage on board. He'd have to, double heal his turn. With only 2 cards in hand, that's pretty unlikely. Even then, it's still over for him, because that's his entire hand, and I'll wipe his board at the same time. Nice, classy, obliterate finish. I don't know why he's getting so aggressive. Well, that went pretty well, though I do think that was unfortunately a pretty new player there. It looks like he did have. I mean, maybe he replaced his combo cards, but you know, when you see a backline Arctic Displacer, you know, you need to expect a 20-ish damage combo the next turn. It was a fun deck. It's been a long time since I messed with it, because trying to get a Displacer to stick is no easy feat. Alright, let's see here. I don't think we need 2 Nakomas. Munch is not great if it's spell high, but it's super important if it is Wanderer. Lure is not great, but you want it for turn 1, just so you can clear an early Scroll Bandit, but I generally replace it after that point. But I think we're just going to replace one of our Nakomas, because everything else we want. You know, we want to make sure we have an opening play. We want a Scroll Bandit answer, and you know, this is health and anti-Wanderer stiff. Okay, it's a bit early for Clax, especially without any ramp. And I think there's a good chance I'll just draw Clax back with Nakoma, so I'm gonna... Hold on, what do we have? Alright, it's not Wanderer. Yeah, no, we'll just plan on drawing Clax back with Nakoma. Definitely a bit early for Obliterate. So I'm going to go ahead and frontline this Crawler just so that I can possibly get a 4-mana turn 2 if I need it. Of course. I mean, there wasn't... Oh. It wasn't terribly likely that Crawler was going to live through this turn anyways. Yeah, Songhai is typically not very fun to play against. Sometimes they are, though. Like, you know, you never know what they're... Okay, so yeah. This appears like we are up versus 8 Gates deck, which is my most hated deck in the entire game here. So, I don't have much to do this turn. And I could just... So I have my choice here between doing absolutely nothing, or damaging that Rakdopa enough that next turn I can kill it with Abyssal Scar. I don't know if I want to do that, because... Well, it's not like this lure is really going to be needed for anything else. You know, munching a Heartseeker for 1 is better than luring a Heartseeker, so we'll just go ahead, mess that up so that, you know, we'll be able to develop creep off of it with Scar next turn. This is definitely a really, really bad matchup for us, because the bulk of our healing comes from Munch, which just doesn't work against this deck. But, you know, if we can find ourselves a Desolator, we can hold on pretty well. Alright, well, at least he's running some minions. I mean, maybe he's not a true 8 Gates deck. He might just be sort of a aggro Gates hybrid, and if that's the case, then that means I will actually have some Munch targets, so that's good. Oh, curious, he just left him on the tile. He didn't want to give me the extra creep. Alright, cool. So, let's see, if I play Nakoma, I'm going to end up burning a card. So another thing you can do is I could, like, ping my own ooze, but I don't really want to do that. And I may just go ahead, throw down an ooze, call that good. It's not fancy, but it works. Get our munch engine rolling here. Panda's gonna get some free pings in on me, but that's okay. Panda at least, procs the ooze a couple extra times there. Then I should be able to kill the Panda with a Scar and or Munch. Okay, yep, but now they are both creeped up, which means these Munches are now serviceable. Still want one more creep before they're really ideal. But hey, maybe I'll get lucky. It'll give me a creep out of a Heartseeker. That would be nice. Oh, it's gonna heal the Panda. That's a fancy play. But I can munch the Panda. Hey, Project, thanks for stopping by. Alright, looks like I have little use for this. Okay, Klax is showing up at a reasonable time here. Let's go ahead and trade into this Mystic, just so we don't waste our Munch heal. Then we'll go ahead, clear the Heartseeker, and we'll clear the Panda. Okay, I wasn't sure which order those effects would have gone off on, but it looks like I wouldn't have wasted a heal. Even if I didn't attack the Mystic, but this is alright. Yeah, so Munch will keep our health topped off, and we'll be able to start Klax spamming pretty quick here. Probably don't need Punish in this matchup, because again, we have a Munch, so we're not too worried on that front. Or just removal. And, we do still think this is spell high. Oh, looks like... Yep, let's just go ahead and Klax, and, play around Thunderbomb. Not that he is likely to kill Klax with a Thunderbomb, but still, he could do Thunderbomb and Phoenix Fire, and, this is now one less damage we're going to take. So we're just going to be conservative with our health, and bide our time, wait for big Obliterate plays. Onyx Bear, oh, shame. Yeah, there's the Thunderbomb. Yeah, 1 damage went to waste off of it, and that's what really matters. Fortunately, I do not have much that I can... Oh, that's not entirely true. I can use this globe to get 2 Nekoma. It's not ideal, since 1 Nekoma is now way over there, but that's alright. Probably going to end up burning some cards here. But that's okay. There's a chance we'll burn no cards. Whereas if I just played a single Nekoma, then I would have been a guarantee of burning 1 card. Now there's a chance we'll burn 2, but a chance we'll burn 0. God, yeah, Old Sphere I miss so much. I don't know why they keep kicking Abyss while they're down. That 8 Gates turn. Oh, we may just be dead this turn. Yep, alright. Well, we got high rolled. It's a really bad matchup for us. Just because, while we have a lot of healing, it's mostly from Munch. And he does not give us a lot of good Munch targets. And we also just didn't find a Desolator that game. If we'd found a Desolator that game, we may have been just fine. But, sometimes you just don't find what you need, and sometimes you get high rolled by the least healthy deck in the entire game. Alright, well, unfortunate, but let's keep going here. Alright, more Reva. Well, fingers crossed it's not 8 gates. Like, anything else is tolerable. Alright, so since we have some... I might just keep this whole hand here. Though I do really want to dig for a Desolator. It's a bit early for Juggernaut. This is a pretty good hand. Like, we've got lots of creep gen with some of our favorite cards and ramp. Really do want to look for a Desolator, though. I suppose we can do without the... If I replace the Crawler, then I may as well replace the Juggernaut. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll just toss both of those. That's probably a bit more. Without a Nakoma in hand, I don't really want to be double ramping Carrion right now. Well, hold on, let's see what we're up against. Alright, it's not Wanderer, so yeah, looking for Desolator is our highest priority. Yeah, we'll just toss out an Ooze. Next turn we can, I guess we'll do a double ramp anyways, even though it's going to eat into our hand a bit. Hey, Huntai, thanks for stopping by. I may still replace the Crawler, we'll see what happens here. Hando. Let's see what we got. Where's that tile? Did we get a good spawn on that tile? Hey, we did. Good deal. Alright, well, since we know for sure this Krillage is going to die if we play it, we'll just go ahead and toss it back. Alright, well, it's not a terribly fancy turn, but I guess we'll just double ramp and get a really early Klax next turn. I mean, it's a shame that the Krillage is going to die to the Pando effect, but yeah, it's fine. I think I will keep the Crawler over the Lure, because the Lure is just not really going to do anything in this matchup. Well, I'll stand corrected. Maybe it will. Let's see. We can do 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, we could just kill that. It's not ideal. I think we'll... leaving it around for a turn is going to suck, but... Alright. Is that a better plan? I mean, we could tie it up with the Klax. Oh, sure, I can pull out some Lionar fun stuff after this round. Alright, let's see here. So, I don't have enough munch. Alright, here's my plan. I'm going to contest this globe with... let's see. I don't want this Lure, but I still may not get enough munch food to finish that 4 wins off. Feels bad, but I think I am going to have to... Alright, Desolator, that'll be important in this matchup, but... Alright, let's... let's just do that. Come down here, tie it up with Klax. So now we are contesting the globe, generating lots of creep, and hopefully generate enough creep to munch it off here. Can my deck deal with Aegis Barrier? I mean, Aegis Barrier is definitely not in the meta at all. That's not really a huge concern, but yeah, I can deal with Aegis Barrier. Like, I have EMPs, I've got Obliterates, I've got Provoke, and things, stuff like Juggernaut that's way bigger than anything that would have an Aegis Barrier on it. Well, definitely unfortunate that he had the OBS and was able to clear my Crawler, but I can still start working on getting enough creep to finish that off with munch. Alright. So, we'll hop up here. We'll clear that, play Desolator. Desolator goes a long way in this matchup. And then we should be able to clear that next turn with munch. Where do I want to be? I do want to avoid free possible backstabs, so... it's still a bit early for Obliterate, especially since we Our Clack's got OBS, but you know, we may need it. We have Desolator, so we can stave off the bleed for a while now. So, we'll probably spend some resources to clear the Desolator to keep his 4-wind safe, which will then likely have enough creep to munch it next turn. Although, well, we'll see. Feel pretty. Ooh, second one. Yeah, but on the same vein as, like, you know, when you don't draw Nakoma, you just play Desolator again and again, or, you know, don't play a whole bunch of ramp cards. You know, the deck has to play a little differently when you don't draw it. Alright, so I could kill one this turn. I think that's going to be what I need to do. Just because I can't afford to let him be getting 2 procs out of that. So we'll just clean that up, get a little bit of health back, get a creep. Not as much health as we would have liked, but you know, that's what we got. Then we'll play around Thunderbomb. We'll clear this. I can't afford to replace Desolator because that's sort of my card advantage and my stave off the bleed here. You know, I really do want to find another Munch, or a Punish wouldn't really help right now, but yeah, really another Munch is what I need to find. But Desolator will hopefully stall me long enough for Obliterate. This does look like more of a traditional slow spell high with, you know, the 4 winds and whatnot, rather than the massive burst 8 gates. And you know, we're definitely better prepared for the slow spell high than proper 8 gates. Well, it's not ideal, but you know, EMP will also deal with the 4 winds and this range at the same time. Let's see here. I really just need to try and focus on staying alive. So I think we'll just play an EMP, which will... And yes, he can run away from the EMP, but you know, I'd be surprised if he didn't have an answer for it anyways. Although I guess he didn't have an answer for Desolator, so maybe not. But mostly we're just trying to preserve our health, and you know, we can Obliterate as a board clear next turn if we need to, but you know, we're probably just gonna flip on over to just Desolator spam. And you know, it's okay that EMP's... I'm curious that he's not walking out of BMP range, unless that means he is OBSing it this turn. Yeah, it's looking pretty likely that I will just Obliterate, because you know, he's got a pretty reasonable board. You know, it's not a great Obliterate, but hey, it will clear his board and let EMP get a hit in. I'm really surprised he... I mean, then again, maybe I don't Obliterate because I can just ping that. Yeah, no, I don't need to Obliterate yet. Like, if he should have walked out of range of that EMP, because now he's giving me a free shot, and yeah, I can make the Obliterate itself better. I'll get more value out of it, hopefully. Do I spend a Demonic Lure on a Heartseeker? Okay, we know we're playing... Alright, we do want to play around Painter, so let's make sure he can't get both EMP and Desolator with Painter. Let's see, what's the worst he could do? If he had 2 Killing Edges in hand... Nah, that's fine. We'll let a ranged survive a turn, and we'll just replace this Demonic Lure, because what we want to find is a Munch or something along those lines. Alright, no reason to play this at the moment. We have more ramp than we need, since we haven't been finding our Nakomas, so that's just replace fodder. And this should be a pretty nasty Obliterate turn. Yeah, it's just old school spell high. Well, shame I am going to give him another Phoenix Fire out of the Obliterate, but that's okay. It's a pretty respectable Obliterate. Although, EMP is also an option, isn't it? It deals with the range and keeps him from getting a spare Hawks. Tough call there. I mean, if I don't Obliterate, I'm going to end up taking a bunch of damage from minions, so yeah. Obliterate now, EMP later. Ah, crap, I forgot to Abyssal Scar something. Well, hopefully that 1 damage won't make the difference. You know, at this point we can probably just Desolator to victory. After cooking all our creep, it's Juggernaut can go. Well, there's our Nakoma. A bit late in the game, but that's okay. So we'll clear that, and we'll just develop our board here. Oh, can I? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we can deny that globe just so he can't have it. I don't know what you're saving that globe for, but I'm not saving it anymore. Got plenty of card advantage now between Nakoma and Desolator. It's pretty unlikely that he can painter both of them with the ooze in the middle of them. And our health is staying at a pretty good level. I mean, we could get 8 gates. I mean, without playing any boulders or abjicators, the most he can really do... Well, okay, we're not getting 8 gates. Did he put that on a creep? That's a weird choice. I made the mistake of OBSing the Desolator rather than the Nakoma. Okay, yeah, don't have enough creep for this Juggernaut to be worthwhile. So let's just go ahead and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's, well, it doesn't accomplish much. What I'm trying to do here is just block him in completely. Especially because that provoke means he can't just use his face to clear the things on the other side. So now he has to play a spell to clear one of those if he did have a painter. Alright, he's just surrendering. I mean, it's been downhill battle for him for a while here. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at some Lionar stuff. So, wander on over to my master thread here, pull out, let's see, and you were interested in, assuming you are still hanging out here, tempo mid-range Lionar lists. Alright, so we have our, so obviously this is the classic deck you're referring to, which is just good old tempo Argion, which is always good fun and effective and keeps up with the metagame. I can play, I'm happy to grab games with that. Alternatively, some more mid-rangey decks that aren't... I mean, Bond's sort of a mid-range list, but Vitruvian gives Bond a bad time. Let's see, the other mid-rangey list, it would be mid-range Titan. And Titan's a real monster. This is a pretty nasty and effective deck. It's pretty straightforward, really. Play Titan, play good minions, and in this case, we're opting for mid-rangey good stuff minions. But I think good old Tempo Argion is likely what you're looking for. So I'll go ahead and pull that up and make sure it's all updated in the client here. Alright. Let's see, it's probably named Tempo something or other. Traditional Tempo Argion. Yep. Looks good. That looks all current. Alright, well, let's grab a couple games with that. It's a classic and effective deck that can stand up to everything in the meta these days. It's not top tier, but it's not far behind, and it stands a good chance against anything up at the top. And that's why I like it, because I've always hated playing decks that are really powerful, but just fold hard to certain matchups. And that's a really nice thing about this list is in skilled hands, you stand a chance against anything you come up against. Because, we have our classic Tempo Lionar package with, Abuse for Lions, good old Silverguard Knight, and Arclight. Then, those Blood Tear is a great card, plus it's a 1-mana combo with Holy Immolation, Sunwisp just because it's a good card. A good amount of healing between Mystic, Trinity, and Tiles. Dispel and Artifact Destruction, AoE/Tile Destruction. It's just a really good, and Paragon is not a bad card, but more importantly, it deals with Wanderer these days. It's just alright. So we're up against Brome, which typically means Trial or Titan, and both scenarios it tends to be pretty swarmy. But Lionar Swarm, all the health is higher than attack, so the Paragons aren't really going to do much for us. That being said, there's a small chance it could be Wanderer Brome, so I am going to hold on to one of these, just in case it is Wanderer Brome. If it's not Wanderer, then we'll throw back the Paragon. I need to replace 2 cards to try and get an opening play. Alright, so it's not Wanderer. Oops. Needed to replace harder for my opening play. This is pretty unlikely. 3, 6, 9, 12. And, I have 12 good opening plays. We're talking like 5% chance. I mean, Wizard Brome was never really a thing. There's a couple good players that liked it, but it wasn't really a Wizard list. It was just Healnar with Brome for the most part, with a little bit more spells than average. But no, it's certainly a list that can work. I mean, basically just cram all of Lionar's good spells in, and Brome lets you skip a few minions that you'd otherwise need, since you don't need as many targets on board for Holy and whatnot. But it's not an archetype I really messed around a lot with myself. Alright, so Claim's going to be important in this matchup, as is Tempest. as is Holy. It sucks that we missed our opening play. I should have replaced Harder for that, but I got a little distracted talking about. Now, Silver Guard's not ideal, but it will work. We can Globe Deny and just say deal with that. I think I will go ahead and, well, if I trade into it, then I risk him getting a free Holy Immolation, but I also want to trade into it now. Well, it's got 1 health rather than later, so it would suck if he holies me, but yeah, it's worth the risk. It's it's 1 damage for me to give me a better chance of having it cleared with Knight. Let's see, is there everything else in hand I'm happy with? Regalia is really probably not going to do a whole lot this matchup. Sure, it'll help clear some things, but he's going to have enough bodies on board that he'll be able to eat through my Regalia without too much trouble. So I should have replaced that way earlier on to try and find myself an opening play, because playing from behind definitely is going to suck here. Probably replacing this Trinity since my hand is super full at the moment, but we'll see. I got Shrouded. But fingers crossed he will punch the Knight with Aurora, and then I can clear it with Tempest along with the majority of his board. But he may also just hit my face, which means I don't even need to Tempest, so that works for me. I'm surprised he didn't clear it, because leaving a big body for Archeon to buff is not always wise, especially since now I can Holy Immolation. Tricky. I don't want to proc the Jaxi if I can avoid it. So I think we're just going to Holy just to clear these 2. So yeah, we'll just hit face, Holy, and call that good. It's not terribly fancy, but it will work. And then let's come up here and punch this. That way we can clear it with Tempest in a bit here. Perhaps I should have been getting aggressive. I don't know. I'm a little out of practice with this list. But we've got Gobs of AoE, we've got healing. I think we're just going to hang tight. Let's see. Is there anything in particular we're looking for? We want our AoEs, but since we have plenty of AoE in hand, Sentinel. Yeah, Sentinel can feel. Sentinel's awfully good though. And I think we're just going to hang tight with what we got here. Wasn't Tempest Mystic a better play? I don't think so, because then he would have had a Jaxi up and out, and I didn't want him to have a ranged minion. I wanted to save my Tempest to be able to clear the Jaxi. So Holy Immolation did damage, let me heal the Knight, and didn't give him a ranged minion. I want the Tempest to be able to clear the Jaxi now. So this is the turn I want Tempest for. Because now Tempest will actually kill everything on board and deal with the ranged unit. And I am going to go ahead and get aggressive, because you do need to be aggressive in this matchup here. This is the list with Holy and Regalia. that is this list right now. Yeah, time to just start getting aggressive, since his late game with the trial does get pretty scary. Well, here's my master thread where you can find all my stuff. Let's see here. So that'll help clear. A bit early for that. I'm going to need that just for the heal more than anything. I think, again, we're pretty happy with this hand. We'll likely have a good Holy next turn. Alright, yeah, we're in pretty good shape here. there's the Obnoxious Jack's True Sight. Would have been nice to have a Tempest for that, but we can go ahead and dig for a Tempest right now. It's not a Tempest, but we could also just Holy. Yeah, we'll just Holy. That way we can really do some serious damage here. Or do we actually just have lethal here? Ah, no, never mind. Yeah, we just have lethal. There we go. It's just a strong list that can stand up to anything. Got gobs of AoE, gobs of healing, gobs of card advantage, gobs of tempo. Just got all kinds of good stuff. It's a classic list. Classic Tempo Argiano didn't run stuff like Paragon, Claim, and EMP, but these days we do because Claim deals with Fault, EMP deals with just a lot of various problems and stuff like walls. Because Winter's Wake is usually the matchup comes down to, do you have EMP? Yes? Alright, I lose. No? Okay, you win. And Paragon is just important for the Wanderer matchup. Alright, so we're up against Shidai, which typically means either Dedicated Spell High or Arcanists. In the case of Arcanists, what we are looking for more than anything is Aperient's Claim, versus Dedicated Spell High, we're just looking for lots of healing. But Sunset Paragon probably isn't doing anything in this matchup because, again, Songhai's frontline minions tend to have higher health than attack. Their backline tends to be the other way around, but backline's backline. So while Regalia is not great versus spells, the tiny bit of damage reduction we can get is going to be important for survivability if it is proper spell high. And it does indeed appear to be proper spell high, so we're going to hold on to Regalia just because it'll help with our health just a little bit here. So let's go ahead and play that. Perhaps I shouldn't have taken the globe. So I have my choice now between continuing to develop the board here. Okay, we definitely want to save that Healing Mystic, because we're going to need all the health we can get in this matchup. But we'll go ahead and Blood Tear. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken the globe. I should have gone up and down so I could test all the globes, but we're going to start working on that Crescent Sphere here. So we've got healing, and we've got lots of ways to stave off his aggression here. Small chance we may even just get a Holy Immolation play next turn. Okay, now he's just going to run away. Fingers crossed for no Thunderbomb. Oh, well, it wasn't a Thunderbomb, so that's something. Alright, it's going to feel pretty bad to Silverguard out of Zeal range, but may need to just to stop him from doing obnoxious things here. He hasn't bothered my health yet. I mean, maybe we'll just Regalia, just because it'll help keep us healthy. Do want to play around Thunderbomb a little bit here. Regalia will help keep us alive. We'll spend all our amount of this turn, and I really would prefer to play Silverguard with its Zeal. So we're just gonna focus on staying alive and bide our time here. He can break Regalia pretty easy, but that 2 health could make all the difference. Alright. Okay, and because now we know he's actually more proper artifacts than simply... So he's doing the flicker backstab combo, so we need to start watching our back here. So we have a couple options. I think this early on we're alright. It'd suck if we got flicker masked, but that's alright. I think we're gonna... Nah, we need to guard our back just in case here. So it's not what we'd hoped to be doing this turn, but it's what we're doing. Gotta make sure we don't just get blown up out of nowhere from a crazy backstab combo, and in the meantime we're just gonna hang tight with our handful of heals and bide our time here. Slowly work on his artifacts with Blood Tears and Holies and whatnot. Plus, if we draw a Tempest, we can play it safely. There's that Thunder Bomb, but hey, Regalia has done its job by saving us 2 health. And it will really do its job if he doesn't break it this turn. And we can definitely mess up his artifacts pretty bad with... keeping our back safe. Gonna go ahead and Blood Tear rather than Mystic this turn, just so we can actually break off one of these artifacts. Well, okay, so for a couple reasons. A, Blood Tear is just a really, really good card. B, it's the best 1-mana minion to go in combination with Holy Immolation. It's just, it's super good. It helps work on artifacts, it kills eggs, it kills Heartseekers, it's 1-mana Holy Immolation food. It's just a really good card, and most lists like it. Not all lists, not all lists have room for it, but if a list has room for it, you run it. Alright, so this is going well for us. We're working on breaking his artifacts. Regalia's doing a lot to keep our, the moment Regalia has... Well, Regalia guarantees to save us 4 health now, since it didn't get blown up in 1 turn. We have a handful of healing. We're just biding our time and guarding our back. Kicking off its backstab, but that's alright. Now we can... That was not a great move on his part, because now I can hop up here, get value out of Regalia. And... Although... Do we want... Yeah, I don't know. We're going to just go punch him in the face. Okay, so for that, you need my budget guide. Now, I would not recommend Aperions early on. There are better, cheaper things you can get. Aperions is good, but it doesn't go in every list. Alright, so now we can tie him up real nice. with this provoke. Get some more value out of our Regalia. May as well trade this in, because otherwise it's probably just going to get swept up by Ghost Lightning or something along those lines. So we'll just play them. Well, no, we'll guard our Silver Guards back here, just because we don't want it getting backstabbed, and we'll just keep our health nice and topped off. Regalia is getting a ton of mileage this match. And we're just playing it safe and cautious, because we know not only can he just blow us up out of nowhere with, you know, backstab combos, he can also just go ahead and flip on a late game mantra combo. But, you know, we are keeping our health out of range of any mantra shenanigans for the most part. Yes, precisely. There are definitely, like, what I would start with one of the budget lists, and then the budget list give you an upgrade list recommendation. Well, our health is actually full, so... Kitty, don't step on the computer. Alright, so I think we're just going to go ahead, clear this with Regalia. Keep guarding our back. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and Healing Mystic the Silver Guard. And, you know, I really don't want to... I want to wait till I am damaged to use this Trinity Oath. Well, maybe not. Like, we have plenty of healing in the deck, and our health is doing really well. We can always just draw more. We may... It's better off to just spend our mana this turn. I mentioned that I go over some Orbbind details as well in my budget guide, but I'll go ahead and give you the summarized version. So the short version is the very first orb you should buy is Mithron Orb, just because it gives you a free mythic rare. But after that, you should buy core orbs unless you plan on running a specific mythic rare trial. And in that case, you just buy Mithron orbs until you get that thing. Other than that, so after your first Mithron orb and or let me take my turn here. Alright, so we'll do a bit of a cheeky Tempest play here. Do I want to do that, though? I don't remember how this actually interacts. I don't think you can get 2 ticks out of Regalia, even if you equip them. That's something worth testing. It's been too long. I would have liked to Tempest, then equip a second Regalia and Tempest again, but I don't think it works that way. Oh, well, just Regalia. Play this just because we can. Buff it up. Call that good. But no, by one Mithron Orb, and then unless you are planning on playing a specific trial, just buy Core Orbs because they have the best drop rate. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll go ahead and test that in Sandbox after this match. I'm just hoping he'll give us... Oh no, he's going to clear the Mystic too. Dang. You know, I want to break all his artifacts in one go here, but I can work on them slowly with Regalia value. Alright, well now we can guard our back. Oh, actually no, let's go ahead and Trinity first. And now we can protect our back. Well, no, okay. Tempest first. Then Lion. Well, Lion at my back isn't great, but you know, again, we don't want to get blown out by backstabs. We're just keeping our health topped off, being careful, and you know, we're working on finishing his artifacts. You know, we'll likely be able to just get a Holy Immolation play and combined with Tempest. Or I think I still have a Blood Tear in the deck too. Yep, I've still got one Blood Tear left. Just taking our time here. Let's see here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, nice. Okay, well, again, Paragon's not doing anything for us. Oh, look, a Blood Tear. Alright, we don't even need to bother with the Tempest now. Perfect. Working on getting him burst down here. Let's go ahead and... yeah, we'll guard our back with that. Go ahead, buff this guy up. Start sending him his way. Just taking... There's our EMPs. Jeez, they took a while to show up. But, yeah, no, now if he re-equips a new set of artifacts, we can deal with that. And it's a weird matchup that you really gotta know the ins and outs of, but if you know how to beat it, it's definitely beatable. Alright, let's see here. Well, may yet want these Regalias just to... we can do without the Tempest. Claim. I mean, I guess we could just claim one of our own dudes just for a tile, but that feels a little silly. Let's go ahead and advance. Start another Tiger offensive here. Go ahead and buff this one up as well. I want to put this one. Oh yeah, here gives it the most options. Although, here makes me play into Thunderbomb. Here makes me, and we'll just toss here. And I guess we'll just throw on Regalia just to... No, we'll hold off on the Regalia because we probably want to play EMP before our next Regalia. Not using our mana real well, but that's okay. Eternity Painter's obnoxious. Can I play the Mechliner? Sure. Well, we may go ahead and claim just for the tile at this point. And we don't need this Tempest. Alright, so we can lock him down pretty well with Pandos. We can get ourselves a heal tile. Get him completely locked down. The question is, do I risk attacking? Let's see, what's the worst case scenario here? It's clearly not an 8-gate stack, but it could easily be a Mantra deck. So he could easily do... Hasn't played an Abjugator, so... Well, okay, let's just assume Mantra and 3 other spells. That's... for 8. Yeah, no, let's attack. Let's work on finishing him off. I hope I don't die for that attack. That would suck. Likely win off of Holy Immolation this turn. Alright, there we go. Didn't even need to use our EMPs. No. Definitely a weird matchup, but one that's certainly beatable if you know how. Alright, Voltron Lionar coming on up. Hopefully I can encourage you to use that Twitch Prime. Scratch these other specs here. Do get that one free subscribe out of Twitch Prime. Alright, let's see. What did I call it? Titan. Nope. Voltron. Ah, nice. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I'll go ahead and add you to my subscriber Discord channel after this. Assuming that is your Discord name. Alright, let's see. So we're up against Vitruvian. So both obelisks and tiles will want that. Alright, so we're definitely going to want Bender in this matchup. Mech Progression's going to do very little because you know he's going to have a Blood of Air save for that. Mechazor. It's a bit early for Oakenheart. I mean, let's see, what are we doing? No, we do need a dig for Titan. It's a bit early for Chassis. Do we want Chassis? No, we want Chassis slightly more than Oakenheart just for the mana curve. And we don't really need Sunbreaker in this matchup, at least not early on. Alright, so good old Wings of Mechazor open. That's the classic spot. Because there simultaneously denies his access to the globe while keeping you access to it. There's no reason in taking it myself, because I had nothing to do with that mana. Placing it farther forward means he might be able to block, put something behind it. So, you know, this is the ideal spot to open with Wings. Because this gives us the globe almost certainly next turn for ourselves. Venom Toth. Is he Wanderer? No? Huh. Don't know why he's playing that, but I guess he is. Or... do want to play the... Alright, I don't really need this Metal Tooth. Then again, I could have used the Metal Tooth to clear the Venom Toth. Alright, I have screwed up. I should have... Nah, this is fine. Alright. So, we'll backline our cannon, making sure, you know, just playing around. And I could deny the globe, or I could work on killing off the Venom Toth. I think, you know, if he's going to Blood of Air a cannon, you know, I'm fine with that. So let's just make sure we can hopefully kill the Venom Tooth with cannon next turn. Because short of Blood of Air, he's probably not going to be able to clear that cannon. You know, if he spends his entire turn to Blood of Air a cannon, I'm happy. Well, it looks like that Pyromancer's a bit higher priority, so Blast can't counterattack ranged, but ranged can counterattack Blast. But either way, I think we do want to go ahead and kill that. So we could just progress Trial. We could Scintilla, just recover some health. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Scintilla. So let's Scintilla. Buff up the Scintilla. And then go ahead and pull the cannon back this way. You know, he can't... If he does Blood of Air now, he can't kill the cannon as well. He has to choose between Scintilla or cannon. So we're happy that we have Titan. We need this Sunbreaker. We really probably don't. This is not a match. I mean, it does actually help if he does play Fault, so... but we do have the Lightbender if he does play Fault. We'll just hang tight with what we got. Should I get aggressive? Yeah, I think I do need to get aggressive because if he is playing Conum Caw and Fault, like Conum Caw can just completely wreck Titan. Plus, you know, we've got a little bit of heal coming from Scintilla here. Yeah, aggressive wasn't the right call. Oh, nice! He got that all buffed up out of counterattack range, and I can't reach it to dispel either. Don't really see Mirage Master much, but that was pretty nifty on his part. And because I chose to buff the Scintilla rather than the cannon. How's my mech progression going? I may yet want this Sunbreaker or next turn here. Next turn this Sunbreaker is going to be doing quite a bit of work. Alright, well... Okay, so he's probably going to trade into the cannon for us. So what I want to do is instead just set up my Sunbreaker. So this way, I will hit this here. Let's keep our Scintilla safe. So what this accomplishes is he will probably trade his cannon into my cannon, and then I can clear his whole field with Sunbreaker next turn. In the meantime, we're just playing defensively, playing around Star's Fury, and just biding our time here. Now, if he does play Fault this turn, well, even if he does play Fault, you know, we're going to be able to Sunbreaker that. Alright, so what Sunbreaker does is it turns your Bloodborne spell into Tempest. So, we'll blow up his field, no problem here. We're getting pretty close to our Titan turn. And we're going to have a nice field clear. Yeah, we're going to blow his field up real hard. We'll go ahead and stand on this tile. Are we concerned about our health? Not really, but... Alright, so we'll do it this way. So we'll... Alright, our hand is plenty full. We don't really need this replicant. So we'll trade in here. And then we'll play the Sunbreaker. And just blow up his whole field. Boom! Meow, what is it, kitty? And now we have... Well, Titan's a little redundant with all of our extra force field here, but Titan's still good. I mean, we just don't have to play Titan next turn since we already have a field full of force field here. We can just rather instead develop a good board, or if he does go for a Ray Fault turn, we can answer that. Although we may just, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Crimson Oculus. These are playing all kinds of weird stuff. Oh, Thunderhorn. May just go for Lightbender and... Not really. I mean, Argion makes your early game minions trade really well. We're still not too worried about getting aggroed down. So we'll toss that. I mean, maybe we do just go for Titan, because Titan messes up Thunderhorn. Because Thunderhorn can't chain if it doesn't do damage. But, in the same vein... Yeah, we'll just go for Titan. It's a little awkward, but that'll work. You know, we have a backup Titan as well. Actually, do we Globe Deny or Tile Deny? No, we have a Sunbreaker. No, I shouldn't have put that there. I should have put that on the tile, because now he can possibly get a good he could Thunderhorn chain into that Sunbreaker. Oh well, this is fine. I mean, that will at least deal with this Thunderhorn, and okay, he's not risking coming into melee. And now we can just Tempest. Ooh, Projection. Luckily, that won't proc twice, because that he won't deal damage to there. Oh, okay. And now we can just avoid the Thunderhorn. So we can play Tempest for no penalty, thanks to our... So blow his field up real nice. Although Venom Toth's a little obnoxious here. I may just want to hang tight and wait for I really don't want to... If I play a Venomtoth, I lose all my stuff, so I think we're just gonna... hang tight and play Tempest again next turn to finish this field and just do absolutely nothing this turn. Yep, we're just gonna do absolutely nothing. I do want to make sure my Sunbreaker stays safe because he's super important right now. Let's see. Well, alright, we are... need two. Okay, we don't need this chassis. Yeah, we are just doing absolutely nothing this turn. Yay! Yeah, these Venomtoths are awkward. Although, if he does find an answer for that Sunbreaker, I could be in some serious trouble too. I mean, ultimately not too bad because I have a spare Titan. My first Sunbreaker. Okay, yeah, I have two more Sunbreakers in the deck too. But yeah, if he doesn't answer this Sunbreaker this turn, I mean, that's game over for him. Oh, he has no cards in hand. Alright, Sunbreaker for the win. Full board clear, and then we were going to develop Mechazor and a few other things. And that was super over for him. I mean, those Venomtoths definitely made me play really awkwardly, but they ultimately weren't enough to get him to win the game. So, did you want to see more Titan, more tempo, or something else? Well, Ultron's fun. Ultron's a real scary deck. Okay, well, so let me go ahead and pull out like one of the go-to Lionar deck these days. It's got a high skill cap, and it's not really... I don't have it on this thread because I haven't played enough of it to really feel comfortable publishing it. But Healnar, Zirian Healnar, be it either the fully aggressive version or the control version, both of those are the go-to Lionar deck these days, and is without a doubt in the top 5 best decks in the game as well. But it's not an easy deck to play, and it's quite a bit unusual because it plays really different from anything else. My client's freezing up on me. So, I mean, I can share the list if you like, but I'm not an expert in Healnar. Although, you know, if you dig around or ask for it, you know, find the power rankings or talk to Key, Pow, Nick, or 4LW, you know, all of those guys will have really good list of it. Although, you know, I've looked at all their lists and they're all solid, and this is just my take. You know, the deck has a little bit of room for some personal customization. Although my client needs to unfreeze for us. Looks like I need to restart. Oh, wait. Huh? Come on, client. Wake up. Alright, time to restart my client because it is thoroughly borked. Oh, nope, there it goes. Unfreezes right as I close it, of course. I mean, definitely tempo Lionar. You can just run the Zers instead of the claims, or just whatever else instead of the claims, and you can slowly work on getting the claims. Or another thing you could do is you could run Zers instead of EMPs, and then Lightbenders instead of claims. That way you still cover the sort of the same role. Like that way you still have Dispel and can deal with tiles. So that's what I would do until you can afford claims. Drop the EMPs for something else big and trade the claim for Lightbenders. Did Duelist ever restart on us? No. Thinking about it though. Oh, it's trying to give me my season rewards here. Hey Aquarium, thanks for stopping by. Alright, so I'm going to get through this season rewards here, and then we'll play a game or two with Healnar just to sort of complete the Lionar best deck list here. Come on. I don't care about this stuff. Let me get back to games. Alright, finally get back in. Alright, so let's go over the list just a little bit, since it's one of the few things not actually on my master thread, since I'm not an expert here. There's a few variations of it. Obviously, there's the really aggressive version that has Flame Bloods and that kind of stuff. Then there's the Vitriol-centered ones. Yeah, unfortunately, Spellbinders got nerfed a long time ago, and then Power Creep is gone. It's a pretty safe disenchant. It's not really any good anymore. That will definitely give you some spirit to work with. So here's my preferred variant of Zerion. A lot of people play it more like combo and or like aggro, but I prefer a little bit more control. And I always found the Vitriols. I mean, there hasn't been a patch in like a year, Rye or Heart, but I think Huntai is a really old player that's coming back after a while. Way back in the day, Archon Spellbinders were super OP. They had quite a bit more stats, and they were super meta for a while. But then they got nerfed hard, and then power creeped. They've been long forgotten. I wish there was a new patch. Alright, anyway, so a lot of people, the aggro variant is the most popular, and it's for a good reason. It's scary, but I just don't like aggro, so it's not my thing. And then the other thing you see is the more, Vitriol combo variants, but I always found Vitriol to be really awkward, but that's likely just my inexperience with the deck. So I tweaked it and just made a version that skipped Vitriol entirely, and this is easier to play than the more combo variant, just because Vitriol takes some practice to get used to, and I just didn't like it. So this is the more control variant. You know, it's still pretty aggressive. Like, you know, it can still do a lot of quick damage with Lucent Beams and Lancers and Sunrisers and whatnot, but, you know, instead of Vitriol or the aggro package, you know, we've got some claims in here to make sure we can deal with Fault. We've got a lot of times you'll see, you know, the Vitriol version just skip Holy Immolation altogether because it's a little slow and they don't run that many bodies. But, you know, I've got, you know, good old Holy Immolation 1-drop package, and plus the Sun Wisps. And so this is how I like to play the deck. Just a little bit more mid-rangey. It's a little easier to play than the combo or aggro variants. So we'll grab a game with that, and then we can explore some other Lionar stuff. My client doesn't freeze up on us again. And if I could find the silly list. Why won't it show up? Zinrui not. Zinrui was, again, one of those cards that used to be meta, but hasn't been for a long time. Keeper of the Veil, again, is a card that used to be super meta and got nerfed really hard. But Keeper of the Veil is not bad, whereas, you know, Spellbinder and Zinrui are really not great these days. Uh-oh. I think my client did freeze up on us again. Jesus, I just can't catch a break here. Alright. Holy. But Keeper, Keeper's not a bad card, and you can design decks around him, although Keeper decks have fallen out of favor because Fault Vet is, you know, one of the most popular decks in the game, and that's a really bad matchup for Keeper decks, because Keeper decks rely on things actually dying, and things don't die a lot in the meta. They get transformed by Blood of Air or bounced by Sansril. But you know, Keeper I wouldn't want to disenchant because he's cool and has some cool decks, and if Vitruvia never loses popularity or gets hit, he could be really good again. But yeah, Zinrui and Spellbinders are pretty safe disenchants. Alright, so let's see here. We are up against Starhorn. That's Valzak. Last I checked, Valzak wasn't playing Starhorn. He was playing Wanderer Rag. But in either case, I think aggro's pretty likely. So we're definitely going to want, I mean, it's heal now. We've got our heals. But I think I'm pretty happy with this hand. We have an opening play. We've got turn 2. We've got Holy. No, I need to find backline answers, because being able to answer Decimus is going to make or break this matchup, so I've got to dig for some backline answers. Sunstrike will do it if he flashes it in. Let's see here. So, it's a bit early for Holy. Mostly we are looking for Lucent Beams, just to make sure we can deal with a backline Decimus. You know, Sunstrike will make sure we can deal with a flash Decimus, but we need to find some Lucent Beams. Flamebloods. Thanks for the early... Alright, so it is a proper aggro list, which means we are super... super favored here. Well, let's see here. Yeah, Trinity Oath goes in the majority of Lionar decks, and it's not a legend, so I think that is one of the cards I recommend crafting. I mean, if you go to my budget guide and just check the little blurb there, it'll give you some advice. But I honestly think you probably have enough spirit just to make the Tempo Lionar list. It sounds like you've gotten all the stuff you need for it, and Trinity is one of the few missing pieces here. Anyways, I need to actually take my turn here. So we could Sunstrike, which should be pretty solid. I don't want to replace Lancer, but I think I need to just because. Okay, good. Now we can for sure answer a backline Decimus if it comes up. I think this is just too good of a Sunstrike turn to pass, so we'll go ahead and go for it. We're getting 3 targets out of that Sunstrike. Yeah, let's Globe Deny while we're at it. It was definitely a favored matchup for us. Just, we have so much healing, it is going to be next to impossible for him to aggro us down. And now that we have our Lucid Beam, we can deal with backline Decimus. What's he throwing out? He's giving us something. Oh, there's a frontline Decimus. Super early spikes. Oh, he's definitely doing some work there. No, I could Tempest. I could beam it. I think we need to... Yeah, we'll probably go for the Tempest. Alright, well, let's see here. So, if we Tempest, 2, 3, 4... Alright, yeah, that's the plan. So let's Tempest to clear that, heal our face up. Let's take a step back just because we don't want to... We're not in a rush to kill him, and there's a small chance we could just get bursted down next turn, so we want to avoid that. Let's see here. It's looking like this Lancer may not be terribly relevant this match, so I think I'm going to toss it back because I need to find actual heals for myself. I'm going to go ahead and trade with this Mystic, otherwise it's likely to just die to Nat Select or Slasher or something along those lines. Yeah, right now we're just looking to top our health off. Maybe I shouldn't have traded in with it, that way it was possible to get a Holy, but I just didn't see it surviving a turn here. I think Sentinel's a touch overrated. It doesn't make it into a lot of my lists. It's a good card though, no doubt about that, and it's really good for the right list. It's in the tempo list, it's in mid-range. He's just healing up quite a bit himself. Alright, don't think we need this Tempest. Alright, get a halfway decent Sunriser play here. The question is, again, do we want to be aggressive? No, because we need to try to keep ourselves out of... Well, okay, so here's the thing. Be careful recommending to craft Titan, because if you craft Titan, then you don't want to craft Regalia or those other spells. And I definitely wouldn't recommend Prominence. He's not amazing card. So we need to still be a little cautious with our health here, just because we want to make sure we're staying out of range of Desi Spike's lethals here. So we're just going to play around Macantor and just get our health up just a little bit here. So, I mean, Red Senja or Fugitive. Senja's not great. Fugitive is a good card, but there are no lists that runs him. That's the problem. Fugitive is a pretty good card. There's just really nothing that he fits in. I mean, there are a couple very, very niche decks that he's great in, but you're almost never going to run him, despite that he's surprisingly good. So yeah, we're just trying to keep our... Oh, hold on here. Keep ourselves alive. Because if we can stay... Yeah, 14 health keeps us out of Desi Spikes plus face. And now he's in the spot where... So we'll have... Yeah, we're comfortably alive now. Because at best he could force a draw. But I don't think he can kill us at 14 health as long as I'm not reckless in attack right now. Yep, looks like we're likely just going to finish him with Holy Sunwisp next turn. Yep. Because most damage he can do this turn is 13, short of some really, really crazy high roll hands. Let's see, if he'd need Flash, Decimus, Spikes, and Entropic Gaze to win. Nothing short of that. And he's already used Desi Spikes, so I think this is pretty well over for him. Yeah, no. Holy Immolate. Sunwisp Holy is probably going to be the closer here. Because there's no way he can block both Ziran and the Scintilla from getting... Well, okay, I stand corrected. He may be able to force a draw with that Macantor. That's most unfortunate. Alright, well, yeah, I think he's forced to draw. Oh, wait, maybe not. Yeah, no, I think he may be able to force a draw. Exactly. Unfortunate. I mean, it is going to require Desi Spikes this turn. That was a well-placed Macantor. I just couldn't find more Lucent Beams or the like. Oh, that's a good sign. Well, that's a good sign. Let's feed me cards. I need a Sunstrike. I need a Lucent Beam. He did not. Alright, so don't need two of these. Alright, well, Alright, come on, Sunstrike or Lucent Beam. Tempest will do too. There we go. Now, if he could have forced the draw, he should have. But that's Hilnar. It's a really powerful list, but it has a really high skill cap, and it's not something I'd recommend for a new player. It takes a long time to learn, and it's just really got an aberrant playstyle that's different from other decks. But figured if you're interested in all things Lionar, I should give you an example of it. Alright, let's see here. So, I suppose we could pull out Bond. Like, Bond is a classic and strong list, but Vitruvian just makes that not real fun to play these days. I do like my tempo list. I'd be up for more of that. Or we could play some more Voltron. Or we could break out Brome, but I don't know. I'm not big on... Brome's is really strong, don't get me wrong, but like Strategos is just sort of a gross deck that I don't like. Because I don't actually have finished lists of it, and I'd rather play Voltron than mid-range Titan. But up to you guys. We can go back to Tempo or Voltron, or we can just move on to something else altogether here. I am running out of time, but yeah, let's go ahead, grab some more Tempo Argion, since I think that is what you're going to end up making here, Huntai. I think you even may have the spirit here. It sounds like you have everything you need to make it. So let me give you another example or two of that deck's gameplay, since it's a great deck for a newer or returning player, and it's really solid and can keep up with the meta. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you subscribed. I will definitely, after I wrap the stream up here after this game, I can send that to you, no problem. Let's see. Tempo. I'll see if I can get stuff worked out on Discord on my phone while I get going here. Alright, got invite to my Discord channel, and after I wrap the stream up, I will get that skin mod to you. I don't need two Trinities, and we are up against Argion, so we may want this claim just because it'll be really good at clearing out a Titanized field, if that is what he's playing, or it's good at clearing Bond. In either case, we don't really want the Sunset Paragon. It doesn't really kill anything in Lionar. Definitely don't need two claim though. Open with Lion or to open with a Wisp? Wisp gives us more options, and we really don't want to play Lion before we can roar it, but at the same time, Lion's a really good open, but I'm going to go for the Wisp just to expand my options. And I'd rather play Lion closer to my roar turn. Yeah, we are. I mean, Claims very well may be good in this matchup. I wouldn't normally keep two of them, but we're going to probably want them more than the Paragon. But, you know, we'll see here. Let's... No. We want the Claims more than we do the Paragon. Alright, well, we can clean his field up and develop our own. We'll go ahead and play the Lion. We do want to play around Holy Immolation, so we want to play it to where he can't hit more than 2 targets here. And it's a shame to put it where he can just trade in with his Lion, but, you know, better get it traded into with his Lion than for him to Holy Immolation and wipe our whole field. Ironcliff, yep. Alright, but, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we can clear the Ironcliff just with Holy Immolation. We'll get his Lion as well. It'll be a nice 2-for-1 there. And since now we have a pretty good idea that he's playing Bond, I mean, it still may be Titan, but either way, we're likely going to want to keep these Holy Immolations. Alright. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it looks like, you know, just Holy and trade everything in. Not perfect, but it makes sure we're not going to get Divine Bonded, and we do get to clear his Lion in the process here. Leaves us without a field, which is a little unfortunate, because we're probably going to miss our Roar, but oh well. Eh, well, Silverguard Roar is a classic. Fizzling Mystic. Interesting. Well, I think our hand's pretty solid. We're going to... Is there a way we can play around Holy Immolation? Not really, but we can make sure he can't Holy with the Fizzling Mystic. So we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, he's more likely just going to trade his Mystic into the Silverguard. That's fine. You know, we're just sort of biding our time because we definitely have the answers and the sustain for the late game. Ah, he Paragon Dust. Oh, that sucked. But hey, at least we'll get a good Blood Tier Holy out of this turn. Our health's getting uncomfortably low, though. And go ahead and Roar for lack of something better to do here. Now we want to play around Holy Immolation ourselves. So let's hop up here. That way, you know, he can't just 2 or 3 drop into Holy. And then, you know, we're just going to kick into the control sustain game pretty quick here. Yeah, there's the Titan, but hey, we have an EMP ready to go. Unfortunately, that's still going to hurt to get hit by that, but the EMP is definitely worthwhile. Yeah, no, I think we don't have much of a choice here. I think we need to EMP and just do our best to turtle up here. If he has a second Titan, though, that's it. Hopefully he doesn't have a second Paragon either. Another Paragon would also potentially do me in here. Curious, I would have expected him to roar trade there. Oh, I guess that works too. Alright. Not the best claim, but hey, it'll do the trick. Like, we need to answer that. This isn't doing us any good. And it'll get us a heal tile going. And I don't want to be aggressive here, but if he gets a second Titan, if I give him enough time to find another Titan, we're in a lot of trouble. So while I didn't want to take the aggressive route there, I think I didn't have much of a choice. Alright, well, we should have another good claim turn. I wonder if he'll play around the claim. Yeah, he did a little bit. Nope, he could have. But I can get 3 out of this claim. That's pretty good. Don't have anything else to do, which is a little unfortunate, but again, while I still really don't want to be taking the aggressor, you know, if he lives long enough to find a second Titan, it's over for me. So I just sort of have to take the aggressive route. And I do have the healing to survive doing that. It's just I have to be aggressive because second Titan will do me in. Oof, this is tough turn to be in. So Paragon will clear that, but is that really our concern here? Oh yeah, Titan's pretty crazy. That's why Voltron's so good. Alright, I could Regalia and Paragon. That would sort of work. That would clear the most. A deal. I don't want to replace the Silver Guard, but I think I got it. Okay, well, at least we have a backup EMP now, so... Alright, looks like that's what we got to do. We have to Regalia and Paragon. That clears his... well, clears most of... ah, crap! Ah, I messed that up bad. If I'd attacked that first, then I could play the Paragon here and cleared the Sunwisp as well. Not killing that Sunwisp will likely cost me the game. That super sucks. But, you know, it really was going to come down to whether he found Titan or not, because, you know, if he drops a Titan, EMP is not going to be enough to get me to survive. It's coming down to whether he can find a second Titan or not. But I could have definitely done this turn a lot better. That was really unfortunate. Oh yeah, there's the other Titan. But if I had cleared that, then I would have lived through the turn and been able to EMP. So I threw that game a little hard, unfortunately. But it was going to be a hard match, even if I didn't screw that turn up. Well, so again, alternatively, you could play the Titan list. It's just, you know, it's a pretty big decision whether you're going to be investing in Titan or you're investing in spell-based decks, like, because you don't want any spells or regalia if you're running Titan. So, Titan is incredibly strong, but it is definitely an investment, whereas, getting Holy Immolation and Trinity give you a whole wide host of Lionar decks. But, it's up to you, but you do sort of have to choose between the one, because you'll be locked in for a while. But they're both good decks. Titan is generally considered slightly stronger, just because, Titan's ridiculous. But the thing about Titan is, Titan is a stronger list, but it has things that shut it down hard, like EMP. Whereas this is not as strong as Titan, but it doesn't get shut down by anything. It can win any matchup, but you have to work a lot harder for your wins. So it is up to you. Let's grab one more round with Titan, and then I'll need to call that a day there. But so now the other thing is, I do believe, so if you're going to play mid-range Titan like he was doing, Brome's the better bet, because Brome's Bloodborne spell is really strong when mixed with Titan. However, if you are... But Argion does have certain cards that, he really likes, which is basically all of the mechs. All of the mechs are really good with Argion. And so, Titan's definitely a little silly, and it'll give you a lot of free and easy wins. But, yeah, like, if the meta adjusts, or people start preparing for Titan, you could have a bad time. But people aren't really preparing for Titan. The other reason I'm sort of steering you away from Titan is Khanum Ka. Like, Khanum Ka just makes Titan decks sort of cry. Khanum Ka Fault just shreds Titan lists. So I sort of recommended against it in these days. As strong as it is, you will lose badly to the best deck in the game. Alright, well, let's see here. So, okay, we don't need the Replicant since we have the Wings to open with. It's a bit early for Open Hearts. Not sure what we're up against, but probably don't need Sunbreakers in this matchup. Alright, well, just the typical Wings open. Tempo Lionar is actually favored in the Fault matchup, just because you've got those Superior's Claims and that aggression, plus the Tempest as well. Like, you're actually favored versus the best and most popular deck in the game. Wanderer is a close second, but again, this has been teched with Wanderer in mind. Whereas Titan walks all over Wanderer, but gets stomped by Fault Vet. I don't know what Poncho's playing. There's a... Nah, he could be playing anything. So I think we do want to... I want to develop Cannon, but I also do want to Globe Deny. Let's see... There's not really anything on 5 mana we're too worried about. So I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to contest Globes without getting myself tied into a turn 2 Holy Immolation. We don't really care if he gets 5 mana. There aren't really any 5 mana power. Well, I guess that's not true. He could drop an Iron Cliff right now and just wreck my day, but I doubt he's playing Bond. That is no... Curious that he played the Tiger. Oh, right, no. Yep. If he got a good spawn off that Saber Spine, I'm screwed. If he got a bad spawn there, then I would have been able to clear the Tigris, but unfortunately, no such luck there. I don't need two of these, but one will be worthwhile. Fortunately. So, we'll just go ahead and Lightbender. It's not fancy, but it'll work. It's hard to say whether he's playing Titan or not. Let's assume Tigris also shows up in either. Tigris shows up more often in Tempo than it does Titan. It's also good. It's hard to say what he's playing. Basically, I'm trying to decide whether I want to attack or not. Because if he's playing Holy Immolation, I don't want to attack. If he's not, I do. But let's just go ahead and hope he doesn't have a Holy in his hand or his deck. Yeah, I think so too, but there's a chance even if he is Tempo, he doesn't have Holy in his hand, so yeah. Alright, fingers crossed that's not a Holy. Alright, Healing Mystic. Ooh, I am getting overwhelmed here. Yeah, no, that good spawn off of Tigris may have done me in, unfortunately. Alright, well, let's see here. I might need that Tempest off of Sunbreaker shortly here. Oakenheart's not doing much for me. Yeah, it looks like our best bet's just Lobe Deny and get some use out of my field here. Well, we should play around Holy Immolation at least a little bit here. I could have gone for Chassis instead. It's a little stickier, but I don't want to lose a Roar turn. Yeah, not a huge deal either way, but... Alright, so here we don't want to attack, because if we attack here, then he'll just trade in whatever's low on health. So... we're sort of hoping that he's going to... make his field nice and vulnerable to Sunbreaker this turn. We're hoping that we'll blow up his whole field for Sunbreaker. Because chances are he's going to... just say. Yeah, he might just... What I'm hoping... Well, I'm not really hoping for it, because that's a lot of damage on board. Is that he just trades everything into my face, and then I can just really punish him with Sunbreaker. We've got we've got Mechazor and Titan ready to go, but fortunately, right now we're pretty concerned about staying alive. So he's got to trade something into this sword, otherwise it will wreck his field. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he got the lion. Clever spot with the Silver Growth there. And he might be just playing around Sunbreaker, and if he plays around Sunbreaker, I'm finished, unfortunately. So the other thing about Titan mirrors, it's mostly decided by who gets player 2. That's the biggest factor, because he gets his Titan first. And that's probably a forgiven. We've just been overwhelmed hard. Like he got the good spawn on the Tigers. Given he had more good spawns than bad spawns when he did it, but yeah, no, he played around Sunbreaker, and I mean, even if he doesn't, I mean, if he has Titan, I'm just dead on board. Let's see, I mean, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, he has 16 damage on board with out Titan. Now it looks like we're just gonna pray he doesn't kill us this turn, which seems unlikely. Not impossible, but unlikely. What do we do with this Mechazor? We might need its Frenzy, but we don't want to get gibbed either. Up here means he probably can't kill it, and it might be... No, we'll just toss it away. I don't know. It's tough. Whatever. That's... didn't get to play all the stuff I wanted to, but oh well. But he's probably got Titan, and I'm probably just dead. Other thing I could have done is I could have tied up these squares a little bit, so couldn't get both of these knights into my face, but oh well. He has Titan. He should just play it and win. I mean, that means maybe he doesn't have Titan and lethal this turn. My Mechazor is just close enough that I might be able to use its Frenzy if I need to. Okay, yeah, Titan. I don't know why he was even hesitating. He had way overkill for game. Like, he almost had game without Titan. But no, yeah, unfortunately, the Titan matchup is mostly decided by who gets player 2, and in this case, he got good RNG on his Tigris. And that's what it came down to. Now, if he didn't get I think it was, let's see, 3 good spawn, 4... He had 4 good spawns and 3 bad spawns. So it was in his favor to win that coin flip, but if he'd have lost that coin flip, he wouldn't have had a board, because I would have just completely destroyed it with my buffed up cannon, and it would have been a really different game. Although he would have still likely been able to recover just by being player 2. Unfortunately, that's another downside to Titan. It's just the matchups are always polarized. I think it's sort of it's a pretty unhealthy deck. You know, it's not like Spell High or Wanderer unhealthy, because it's not RNG or burn levels of unhealthy, but it's super polarized because, you know, certain matchups, there's nothing they can do about it. It's just a free win. Other matchups, there's very little you can do about it. It's a free win for them. Or mirrors, it's just mostly decided by who gets player 2. It's a really polarized deck. Now, you know, it is incredibly powerful and really easy to play. And, you know, it's fun, too. Like, Titan is just ridiculous. But, you know, I would steer you towards Tempo Lionar, because it won't give you the free wins that will, but it will teach you how to be a good player, and you'll have a good chance against everything. Whereas Titan, you'll just lose to the best deck in the game right now. But that's all I have time for today, so thanks for stopping by, everyone. I will catch you all next time.